As far as the consent decree, the clock is ticking, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to open the door to this. I have a lot of concerns. I have seen delay after delay after delay, and I have concerns. And I don't even know where to begin on this, but we've had opinions and more opinions, and then we've had letters from the top two companies coming back and forth. But I'm concerned, and one of the things I'm going to be concerned about is I'm going to just talk about the process. We have a process in place that Miami-Dade County follows and Miami-Dade County adheres to. My concern is that when we had a process, and I understand to be the Tier 1 and Tier 2 process, my understanding, you throw out Tier 1 when you start Tier 2, is suddenly that now we're going to bring in another Tier 3. I'm going to tell you, I'm very concerned. I'm concerned because we're changing the process, or we're creating another new process, or creating another new layer. And I'm concerned because we're under a federal consent decree by the federal government, and we are going to get in trouble. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know why we can't get it. It's almost embarrassing. I don't know why we can't get it right. If there's always going to be a number one, there's always going to be a number two. There's always going to be somebody that's not happy about the decision, whether they're number one or number two. If number two was number one, they would think the process was great. If number one was number two, they would think the process was flawed. So this is the way this happens. I'm afraid that we're almost looking as if we are, by creating another tier, by creating another level, a lot of time is going to go by. We're going to go far past our deadline. And that's my focus, is our deadline. I'm very concerned about the process, that once we have a process, if everybody follows the process and there's a recommendation, I don't understand why we don't go ahead with the recommendation. I'm not the mayor. This is definitely, his responsibility. But I have a lot of concerns, and he isn't here today. Mr. Iglesias, I believe you're in the mayor's place, but I have a lot of concerns about this. It almost looks as if we're intervening on behalf of the person who doesn't prevail or does prevail. And I want to make sure that our processes are just, and I know that nobody has any ill intent. I'm just very concerned about how this looks to the public, how this appears, the timeline for the consent decree. I'm very concerned about this process, and I wanted to put my concerns on the table and on the record. Thank you. Thank you.